Good morning. We are going to be in the book of Hosea, chapter 4, and let's go ahead and open in prayer. Lord, I just thank you for today, and I thank you that you brought us here, and Lord, I thank you for my granddaughter's birthday. I thank you that we can get into your word. I thank you that I have Bible study this morning. I thank you for all that those that are listening are doing today. I pray that you would bless what they're doing. I pray that you would guide and direct them, and I pray that you would use us to be a light to those around us. And I just pray that you would just help us to be a blessing. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, so book of Hosea, chapter 4. Here we go.
15. Hear the word of the Lord, O children of Israel. For the Lord has a controversy with the inhabitants of the land. There is no faithfulness or steadfast love, and no knowledge of God in the land. There is swearing, lying, murder, stealing, and committing adultery. They break all bounds, and bloodshed follows bloodshed. Therefore the land mourns, and all who dwell in it languish, and also the beasts of the field and the birds of the heavens, and even the fish of the sea are taken away. Yet let no one contend, and let none accuse. For with you is my contention, O priest. You shall stumble by day. The prophet also shall stumble with you by night, and I will destroy your mother. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because you have rejected knowledge, I reject you from being a priest to me.
Okay, so that might sound harsh, but it's God saying that I hold the priest and I hold the prophet accountable for the sins of these people, because it's their job to teach and to give the truth and to give God to the people, and they're not doing their job and they're misrepresenting God. And so God, yes, is not happy with them and is going to have to discipline them because the situation is their fault. Even though we all have free will and free choice, they were the ones that were supposed to represent God, and they weren't.
And since you have forgotten the law of your God, I also will forget your children. The more they increased, the more they sinned against me. I will change their glory into shame. They feed on the sin of my people. They are greedy for their iniquity. And it shall be like people, like priest. I will punish them for their ways and repay them for their deeds. They shall eat, but satisfied. They shall play the whoredom, wine, and new wine, which take away the understanding. My people inquire of a piece of, for a spirit of whoredom has led them astray, and they fear God to play the whore. They sacrifice on the tops of the mountains and burn offerings on the hills, under oak, poplar, and terebinth, because their shade is good. Therefore your daughters play the whore, and your brides commit adultery. I will not punish your daughters when they play the whore, nor your brides when they commit adultery. For the men themselves go aside with prostitutes, and sacrifice with cult prostitutes, and a people without understanding shall come to ruin. Though you play the whore, O Israel, let not Judah become guilty. Enter not into Gilgal, nor go up to Beth-aven, and swear not, as the Lord lives. Like a stubborn heifer, Israel is stubborn. Can the Lord now feed them like a lamb in a broad pasture? Ephraim is joined to idols. Leave him alone. When their drink is gone, they give themselves to whoring. Their rulers dearly love shame. A wind has wrapped them in its wings. and they shall be ashamed because of their sacrifices.
Going on
Hear
to chapter
this,
5 of Hosea.
O priests. Pay attention, O house of Israel. Give ear, O house of the king. For the judgment is for you. For you have been a snare at Mizpah, and a net spread upon Tabor. And the revolters have gone deep into slaughter, but I will discipline all of them. I know Ephraim, and Israel is not hidden from me. For now, O Ephraim, you have played the whore. Israel is defiled. Their deeds do not permit them to return to their God. For the spirit of whoredom is within them, and they know not the Lord. The pride of Israel testifies to his face. Israel and Ephraim shall stumble in his guilt. Judah also shall stumble with them. With their flocks and herds they shall go to seek the Lord, but they will not find him. He has withdrawn from them. They have dealt faithlessly with the Lord, for they have borne alien children. Now the new moon shall devour them with their fields. Blow the horn in Gibeah, the trumpet in Ramah. Sound the alarm at Bethaven. We follow you, O Benjamin. Ephraim shall become a desolation in the day of punishment. Among the tribes of Israel, I make known what is sure. The princes of Judah have become like those who move the landmark. Upon them I will pour out my wrath like water. Ephraim is oppressed, crushed in judgment, because he was determined to go after filth. But I am like a moth to Ephraim, and like dry rot to the house of Judah. When Ephraim saw his sickness, and Judah his wound, then Ephraim went to Assyria, and sent to the great king. But he is not able to cure you, or heal your wound. For I will be like a lion to Ephraim, and like a young lion to the house of Judah. Even I, will tear and go away. I will carry off, and no one shall rescue. I will return again to my place, until they acknowledge their guilt and seek my face, and in their distress earnestly seek me.
So I don't know if you caught that, but the ending right here says, I will return again to my place until they acknowledge their guilt and seek my face. Because when we acknowledge that we are wrong and we seek out God in our distress, we can earnestly seek him and find him, because he loves us and he wants to be there for us. But he cannot be there for us when we are not seeking him. All right. Now we're going into the New Testament.
Okay, so coming quickly on the heels of John's first letter, which is fairly short, is 2 John, the second epistle of John, written shortly after he wrote his first letter, and probably to the same people he wrote the first letter to. And this letter was possibly written from Ephesus, where tradition holds that John spent the latter years of his life, and was written to encourage and strengthen the church against the false doctrine that was so pervasive around them, and to remind them that they needed to guard themselves against these false doctrines and live in truth and love, in contrast to these false teachings. So similar themes to what we just went through in 1 John. And there's no shortage of this today. There's plenty of things out there to seduce us. And it's very important that we walk in truth and in love, guarding ourselves as we deepen our relationship with Jesus and carry the gospel forward into this world. And so we begin 2 John chapter 1. The elder, to the elect lady and her children, whom I love in truth. And not only I, but also all who know the truth, because of the truth that abides in us and will be with us forever. Grace, mercy, and peace will be with us from God the Father and from Jesus Christ, the Father's Son, in truth and love. I rejoiced greatly to find some of your children walking in the truth, just as we were commanded by the Father. And now I ask you, dear lady, not as though I were writing you a new commandment, but the one we have had from the beginning, that we love one another. And this is love, that we walk according to his commandments. This is the commandment, just as you have heard from the beginning, so that you should walk in it. For many deceivers have gone out into the world, those who do not confess the coming of Jesus Christ in the flesh. Such a one is the deceiver and the Antichrist. Watch yourselves, so that you may not lose what we have worked for, but may win a full reward. Everyone who goes on ahead and does not abide in the teaching of Christ does not have God. Whoever abides in the teaching has both the Father and the Son. If anyone comes to you and does not bring this teaching, do not receive him into your house or give him any greeting, for whoever greets him takes part in his wicked works. Though I have much to write to you, I would rather not use paper and ink. Instead, I hope to come to you and talk face to face, so that our joy may be complete. The children of your elect sister greet you.
Alrighty. And now we go into Psalms.
Psalm 125. The Lord surrounds his people. A song of ascents. Those who trust in the Lord are like Mount Zion, which cannot be moved, but abides forever. As the mountains surround Jerusalem, so the Lord surrounds his people, for this time forth and forevermore. For the scepter of wickedness shall not rest on the land allotted to the righteous, lest the righteous stretch out their hands to do wrong. Do good, O Lord, to those who are good, and to those who are upright in their hearts. But those who turn aside to their crooked ways, the Lord will lead away with evildoers. Peace be upon Israel.
Real quick. Those who trust in the Lord can't be moved. That's such a great promise today, because the world, everything is moving, everything is changing, everything is always never the same. And if you trust in the Lord, you cannot be moved, you cannot be shaken. And then it says in verse 2, how the Lord surrounds his people from this time forth and forevermore. Are you feeling isolated? Are you feeling alone? Remember that the Lord surrounds you. The Lord is around you. He is encircling you. He is encamping around you as a refuge, as a strong tower, as the fortress that is there to defend you and protect you. And then verse 4, do good, O Lord, to those who are good and to those who are upright in their hearts. God knows your heart. It doesn't matter what you do on the outside so much as what you're doing on the inside, because God knows your heart. And he cares more about what your heart is than what you're doing on the outside. And then that takes us to Proverbs. Okay.
Proverbs 29, 9 through 11. If a wise man has an argument with a fool, the fool only rages and laughs, and there is no quiet. Bloodthirsty men hate one who is blameless and seek the life of the upright. A fool gives full vent to his spirit, but a wise man quietly holds it back.
Well, that's the end of our reading today, but I just wanted to recap on those. So a wise man that argues with the fool. A wise man has an argument with the fool, and the fool is just going to rage and laugh. And I know we've been in situations where we're trying to have a conversation or trying to put a point across, and you're arguing with the fool, and it's useless and futile, and it's not worth it, right? And then the last one, a fool gives full vent to his spirit. That's those anger moments, those USA moments, those moments when those people that just drive you to the brink, those sandpaper people that just rub all the rough edges off you, right? A fool gives full vent to his spirit, but a wise man quietly holds it back. I am trying to be that wise person today, and I hope that you are too. Don't let your anger get away from you, even when we're driving in traffic, even with those sandpaper people. I pray you have a blessed day, and I pray that you seek out God, and you use what we've learned today, and apply it to your life and share it with others. God bless.